Let's get started, gang. I'm glad you could join us. We're going to have people popping in here as we get going here. I just want to let you know this is for beginners. This is Bitcoin class, a guide for beginners. So let's get started. Take a look at this screen here. This screen here says these are the prices of the on New Year's Eve, midnight, going up. Bitcoin 2010, it started in 2009, 2010. When it first started taking root, sub 1 penny each, goes to $4, $13. Now we're getting near $1,000. Then we jump up into past almost 14,000. Then we get up to 30,000, 50,000, 40,000, 90,000, and in 2025 we were at 100,000. And this is a chart of a 7-year Bitcoin versus the S&P 500. While you look at that, you guys that are on right now, please type in what state you're from or country. If you're not from the United States, tell us what country you're from. Type that in. I'm very interested to know. But we need to talk about disclaimers. Hey, this is information only, not investment advice. So just, that backtesting performance is not indicative to future. And if you happen to see a recording of this, feel free to pause these videos. But this is a little bit about me. You don't care much about me or anything about me other than the fact I just want to show you I have some street cred in what I'm going to be sharing with you. So feel free to read that. Let's move on. So what is Bitcoin? Now I'm going to read this part. Bitcoin is like a form of money that exists only online, digitally. Just as people use cash in the real world, Bitcoin is like internet cash that can be sent directly from one person to another anywhere in the world without asking a bank or payment service for permission or having to be charged something. So in other words, I could send you Bitcoin which can be converted straight to cash, any amount at any time, without having to pay a wire fee or an ACH fee or any other fee. And it's done immediately. We don't have to wait 1 to 3 days. So it is a new way of going about things. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank. Now, don't let this be lost on you. What am I saying here? That means that no country, no state, no territory, no entity, no bank, no commission in any way, shape, or form controls Bitcoin. There is no control. Nobody controlling this. Nobody benefiting from this other than people that own Bitcoin itself. That's what we mean by decentralized. The key features are it's peer-to-peer. I don't know if you've ever dealt with PayPal. Back in the day, I used to, when PayPal first came out and connected with eBay, I was using PayPal, in the first year they were available. While I was doing that, they kept confiscating money from me because it didn't know what type of business I was in. I was in an education business. And it was a pain in the touche. Matter of fact, I had to go. They had confiscated at one point $5,000, and I had to go to your state's lost money or found money website that you go to put your information in. Sure enough, there was an extra $5,000 that PayPal said that they could not get back to me. Anyway, the problem is this: banks make and financial companies make mistakes. They make mistakes, and that is a problem, and they charge us money, and they're laggy. How can we get around that? Peer-to-peer. If I'm going to buy something off of you, let's say you're selling a boat, and I wanted to buy your boat, and I was going to send you $40,000 to buy this new fishing boat or a used pre-owned. And I could immediately take my Bitcoin, send you $40,000 worth to you, and it would happen in a matter of minutes, if not seconds, and you'd have your money. So that is really good. Now, how is this done? It's done through something called blockchain. Blockchain. So blockchain technology is something that's very interesting. What that means is that there is a bunch of computers out there that make up this blockchain. Those computers are called nodes. So these computers are processing our transactions on Bitcoin. So it's done over the internet, but it's done on a blockchain. The blockchain are these computers all connected together via the internet, and that is why it's decentralized. Because it's on the internet and because it's throughout the world on people's computers, there's no control over it. China's tried to control it. Multiple countries have tried to control it, including the United States, and nobody can control Bitcoin. All you can do is align with it. So then there's a limited supply. There's not a finite amount. There is a finite amount, meaning there's only 21 million coins. By the time the last coin is minted, none of us will be alive. It's scheduled to happen way in the future, 140 years from now or so, when the last coin will be minted. So how does Bitcoin work? So we talked about this already. We're on the blockchain, okay? Everything's on the blockchain. And those nodes I was talking about, people can have their computers be used to be on the blockchain. Used to be on the blockchain to help make these transactions. But it's just not any computer. These are specialized computers. And these computers, the most popular ones are called ant computers, A-N-T, like the ant that crawls on the ground. Ant computers, about the size of a loaf of bread. And they're very noisy. And they produce a ton of heat, but they do a lot of calculations very, very quickly. And they use a lot of GPU power. So those nodes that are out there, which are using ant machines, they are called miners that are mining crypto. The more those machines run, the more crypto they earn. So that's why they have these mining machines, these ant machines, or these nodes. They do that to make free Bitcoin. It takes a ton of energy, it takes a lot of equipment that's very expensive to do these nodes, but they're all over the world. Now, you also need to have a wallet, a digital wallet, because right now, when we have our money, we usually hold it in a bank, okay? Our money's sitting in a bank right now, we have a debit card and we do that. Well, there's no centralized bank anymore. So you have the ability, and you have to, and once you get your Bitcoin, it's got to be stored in a wallet that you own. That wallet that you own is where all your Bitcoin will be, your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Know when I say Bitcoin, that's the big dog of them all. There's other cryptocurrencies, and let me share with you a difference from a cryptocurrency that is considered a coin and one that is considered a token. If you have Bitcoin, that is because Bitcoin, it's on its own blockchain. The blockchain is only for that. If you are a digital token, you do a cryptocurrency that's a token, it works just like a coin. They're the same. However, I'm borrowing somebody else's blockchain. Ethereum has a blockchain that anybody can use. So if you create a coin, or you know somebody that creates a coin, or any coin that's out there, they do a cryptocurrency coin. If they use Ethereum, which most people do, it's going to be called a token, technically speaking. So the great thing about Bitcoin or Ethereum or any blockchain that's out there is it brings a high level of security. Why? Through verification. What do I mean by that? If I'm paying you $40,000 for your boat, and I'm going to get Bitcoin and say I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin, at that moment it's going to be $40,000 worth of Bitcoin at Bitcoin's price at that moment. I'm going to send you $40,000, and it's going to go from my wallet into your wallet. So my wallet into there. So it all goes on a ledger, okay? So if I put my money and I say, send it to you because I'm going to buy this fishing boat, which I've never owned a fishing boat. I'm going to send it to you. You're going to get it immediately. It's not going to be any fees incorporated with that because of a centralized group. Now listen, the administrator or the exchange that makes that happen, there's a small fee for, think of it as a small transactional fee that gets paid for that, okay? So the people who handle in the exchange that transaction will get a small fee. But it's done very, very quickly. When we make that purchase, when I make that purchase to you, multiple nodes have to verify that that was true. And if that verification brings a huge amount of security, which is very beneficial to us. So this is a disrupting finance. Bitcoin challenges traditional banking and offers freedom and government control. So this is huge. This is why it's freedom, freedom, freedom. Bitcoin gives a lot of that. Anonymity and security, strong privacy aspects and security compared to traditional money. Very true. All this is very solid. The recent major Bitcoin news, institutionals adopt. So MicroStrategy's just not too long ago purchased another 55,000 Bitcoin. That's crazy. Discussions on strategic reserves by the United States. So we're talking about using Bitcoin as a strategic reserve for the United States. We used to be on the gold standard. We're no longer. That we do have a lot of gold as a country, but now we're building up a lot of Bitcoin as a country, and that's interesting. So the legal status, Shanghai declared Bitcoin legal to own yet again. I mean, China has tried to kill this multiple times, and now they're saying it's great. President Trump has a bullish stance on Bitcoin. A couple things, I'm not going to read it all, but you can see this economic boost. They're hoping the United States will become a crypto capital, which would be good for the United States to happen. Putting together a crypto advisory council, and he opposes CBDCs. So what is that? That's the government digitizing the U.S. dollar or any other country monetary system being digitized, because once that happens, and we will lose all control. So the idea is to not support CBDCs because our freedoms could go away very quickly. Because if it's digitized, now the government owns access to who gets what money and when. That's a dangerous thing. Economic strategy. So this economic strategy here is part of the broader thing to be able to use against inflation or devaluation of the traditional currencies. So that's interesting. But debt repayment, at the time of this video, around over $36 trillion in debt as a country. And President Bush said, how cool would it be if we could use a bunch of the Bitcoin reserves we have just to wipe away our debt? And I think that is a fascinating statement. That Bitcoin's market performance continues to be bullish. It just keeps going up, 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 up. A lot of people don't realize it, but and now that we broke that $100,000 mark, it's just a matter of time before we'll get to $250,000 and then $500,000 and $1 million. A lot of people have a hard time believing it's going to get that high. But when it was at 5,000, my friends couldn't believe that it was going to get to 10,000. When it got to 10,000, they couldn't believe it could get to 20,000. When it got to 20, they couldn't believe it could get to 50,000, 100,000. What I'm saying is it's going to continue to grow. So at the end of 2025, predict the gurus out there. I got an average of all the gurus. It's an average of 86% growth. They think it's going to be just sub $200,000 by the end of this year. Bitcoin potentially dubbed the digital gold by who? The U.S. Treasury. How crazy is that? Here are some people. These are their forecasts. These are the different groups who have forecasted this. Risk and considerations. Bitcoin's very volatile. I showed you the initial chart at the beginning of this YouTube premiere, and that chart shows a lot of up and downs. It goes up though. I mean, it outpaces the S&P and the other major market indexes quite a bit. And there is potential for significant losses, meaning that people could buy at a high price and have to sit through a large loss. So that is a reality. Changes in the regulation could impact Bitcoin's value and usability. Those are all true. Here are 5 companies that own the most Bitcoin. MicroStrategies owns the most. At the time of this, they are just under 400,000 Bitcoin. I mean, they are machines. But do you see those things? And I'm just going to click through them. But do you see, these are ticker symbols. So you can see Tesla on there, number 4, those ticker symbols. Let me go back. Those are ticker symbols. So people are trading. I'm not saying to invest, to buy or sell any securities. This is educational purposes only. But here's how much Bitcoin all of these guys own. Okay, I did the research for you. Take a picture of this screen. I'll pause for a second. And if you haven't done so yet, a lot of other people have come in. Tell me where you're from. What state are you from? What country are you from? Let me know. Let me know. Also, let me know if you are, do you own crypto now, and how long have you been trading? Say yes, 4 years, or no, I'm just interested in it, whatever. I'm very interested to hear where you guys are. But step number 1, why you want to take a picture of this, is you have to set up your currency exchange. Pick an exchange to go with. Coinbase is one. I have an account with them. It's very easy. It connects to PayPal, and you can put your credit card and buy Bitcoin or other tokens or other coins very easily. And Kraken has probably the lowest fees out there, and they're very good. Binance has a very large selection. If you want, anyway, I would just stick with Coinbase or Kraken. Those two, very, very good. Then you fund your account. Once you have your account going, you fund it, and then begin buying and trading cryptocurrency. Once it's funded, you look at a chart like you would any other chart. A lot of you guys are students of us. You're Grok grads. You would trade it the exact same way. And choosing a strategy is very, very important. And what I mean by that is, how do I start trading this? How do I start? There's 3 strategies to consider: buy and hold, or trade it, or trade via algorithms. So let's talk about this. Buy and hold is the easiest thing to do. I think everybody should have some level of exposure of Bitcoin in their portfolio. Everybody should have that. And you have a set holding. So what does that mean? That means if you buy a tenth of a Bitcoin, because you can buy $10 of Bitcoin, $50 of Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You don't have to drop $100,000 to enter this. So you can enter at a couple $100 if you want to. But once you buy it and hold it, you don't get any more Bitcoin unless you buy more of it using what's called fiat money. Fiat money is just government money, tangible money, money that you can touch and feel. So you would use the money that you work for, fiat, which is called fiat money. You would take that, you'd use your debit card, you would use PayPal, whatever, and then you would buy Bitcoin. And whatever amount you buy, you are set there. Now, what if you put some effort in and you started learning to trade it? You went through our program, you learned the best of the best when it comes to technical analysis, and you're like, whoa. So I'll buy as much Bitcoin as I'm comfortable doing right now, but when it goes high, I'm going to sell it. When I see it drop, I'm going to buy it back. So I'll buy more Bitcoin. So what are you doing? You're increasing your holding. How are you doing it? Through making wise trading decisions. So is there effort and investment in learning this level of education? 100%. We think we're the best value out there on the money. That's why we don't market, and people find us, and we have a lot of students that come through. But the third one I think is very interesting, and that's trade, but you do it through algorithms. You use the power of AI, more specifically ML, machine learning. And that is a way to increase your holdings. So you buy as much Bitcoin you're comfortable doing, and then you have an algorithm say, buy now, sell now, buy now, sell now. And then you make your ultimate decision if you want to get in or if you want to get out. Let the algorithm do the work for you. However, what in the world is algorithmic trading? That's just a computer program that has a program that analyzes the market, analyzes the stock itself, and then what it does, not the stock, the Bitcoin itself, because Bitcoin is not a security. That's why we're talking about this with algorithms. And that allows you, the user, to be able to say, ooh, okay, I'll buy it now. I'll sell it now, or I'll consider buying it now, or I'll consider selling it now. But it's a computer program that does that for you. Here are my thoughts on algo. The biggest market players out there today use AI. They're using trading algos. Most of the market moves are algorithmic driven. That is factual. Algorithms predominantly use ML, machine learning, which delivers backtesting, which is very good. We want backtesting. Those fortunate enough to have access to the right trading algos will benefit greatly from the modernization, staying up with that. So my thoughts continued. AI in finance is number one here, number two, not going away, and it's growing very quickly. I think we're all in agreement of that. And we need to adopt AI, ML, trading algorithms sooner than later. Incorporating trading algorithms is not optional. These are my opinions, my thoughts, my ideas. Data and my own experience convinced me to add trading algorithms to my trading to even the playing field. Unexpected benefits, higher profits, and lower stress. That's kind of the long and short of it. Now I'm going to show you some algos real quick, and we'll be done. But I'm going to show you real algos right now. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. But what we're after is something called a profit factor. We want a 1.4. In other words, if I risk $1, I need to make at least $1.40 for it to be suitable. Okay, I need $1.04. So a profit factor of 1.4 or greater is fantastic. Percent profitable, I'd like to be over 50%. If I'm hitting a 1.4 and I only do 50%, meaning I'll make one trade, I lose. I make another trade, I win, and I just do 50-50. Out of 10 trades, I'm going to lose 5. Let's say I risk $100 on each one of those trades. I do 25 trades. I'll still make $500 in this scenario. But if my risk amount was 1,000, I'd be at 5,000, 10,000, 50. So it's relative, and how many trades too. So the higher this number it gets, and the higher this number gets, if the profit factor is a 1.6, 1.8, oh, and then we're hitting a 53 or 55, and you're risking $1,000, that number changes drastically. So with that said, well, let's get into some really cool stuff, okay? Now, what you're looking at right now, actually, what I should do is a compare and contrast is what I should do here. Okay, so what you're looking at is TradingView. TradingView allows us to have backtesting data. We can put in trading algorithms and get a lot of backtested trading. And what does the back trading data tell us? What does that even mean? Let me show you. In this data down here, this is what we're really after and we're looking for. You can see we're going long, going short, going long, going short, going long, going short. The trades are right here on Bitcoin. Do you see this? They're right there on there. Well, it crunches all the numbers. It did 585 trades. So we did 585 trades in the past 585 trades using this algorithm. And if I was 100% in, I was going to trade $10,000. So I was going to buy $10,000 of Bitcoin, or $100,000, whatever it is. You can say 100,000. We're going to buy that in Bitcoin. When we buy 100,000, we sell our whole Bitcoin, and then we buy back again. We buy back 100% of our equity. We're buying in 100%. I'm not saying that's we should be doing that. I'm just saying that in this example, that's what it's showing. So if we traded over 500 times, we would have lost 33%. So this isn't a great algorithm, okay? Not a good one. It did win more than it loses. I mean, it wins 53% of the time, but the problem is the profit factor. You remember how I said it needs to be 1.4 or greater? It's actually 0.88. That is no good. So you got to be at a 60%, 80% to start making money. That needs to be a 1.4. And look at the max drawdown. We want that under 30. This thing is 78%. So the worst it experienced on the max drawdown was 78%. That is no good. So let me look at a couple others. This slope cross. Let's go to pivot. These are other strategies on this. But check this out. If I go to this one, so I did 107 trades. I made 31% in 107 trades, but it only wins 46% of the time. Has a 1.2. It's not a 1.4. This isn't 50%. And the max drawdown is a staggering 87%. That's not good. Let's go up here to the super trend strategy. Super trend strategy. We were looking at the super trend strategy on that one. Let's go to this one. So this one made 211 trades, made 7%, only wins 38% of the time, but has a 1.4 and hardly any loss, which is the only thing going for it. 1.4 and this is the only thing going for it, but outside of that, you're not making any money, doing a ton of trading, and with commissions that would just eat you alive, okay? Now, let me show you our super duper special trading algorithms now that you can get from us. So if you want to start getting into Bitcoin and you want to use the power of trading algorithms, we have this one. This one right here is on Ethereum. If you look at Ethereum, this is a daily chart on Ethereum, 4-hour chart. This is a 4-hour chart on Ethereum, okay? And this thing had 1,750 trades. So the more trades it does, the more valid the data gets because of more instances or more trades to research. It only wins 41% of the time, and it's only a 1.27, and this one's a 52. So this one has the equity curve that we're looking at goes from lower left to upper right. This green line, that's what we're after. We're after lower left to upper right. We got that. And do you see the buy and hold? If I click this on and off, it's this blue line down here at the bottom. The buy and hold on this is so small compared to what this is doing that it looks like a flat line. So this is making in 1,700 plus trades 2.5 million %. A lot of things in doing a 4-hour chart. If I go up here, this is also Ethereum, and that chart's on our PFAD. So this is our PFAD algorithm. Now we have this is our OHA, which is our next to our most powerful algorithm. Look at the equity curve going bottom left to upper right. Flat buy and hold line, made over 5 million %, 2,000 trades, 52%, 1.3 and 49. So we have to go through a little bit of heat here to deal with this. And then if we go to a big dog of them all, this thing makes over 6 million %. Again, this doesn't include commissions. It doesn't include slippage. It doesn't include fees. And this is making the assumption you're pushing all your money in, all your money out, using $100,000 to start with. So it had 69 trades. It wins 64% of the time, a staggering 3.8 or 3.9 profit factor. A sizable little drawdown here. Average trade makes 33%. And this is a daily chart on this. So these are just one settings that I have out of millions of settings. These settings I quickly put on here. But what do I mean by the settings? I can go into these, click this, and I can go long only or long and short if I want a short. And you'll see those numbers. I went from 6 million to 11 million by shorting, by adding the short. And I could go in here, set my times, when I start my trading, when I end. I just want all time. And then I can do these numbers. You don't need to know what all these numbers are. This is our secret sauce, but you can move these numbers up and down, and these numbers will change in real time. So for example, if I move this down a couple, you'll see that 6 million go down to 3.5 million. So it's much better to be back at 90 in this case. But the more numbers you change, the more they can be changed. And you can turn on moving average filters. You can take profits at a certain, you can do all these things. It's very customizable, if you will, if that's even a word. and you look for the best performances, and once you have them, what's super cool about this is you're able to set alerts on it. So if I were to right click this, I could go over here and go down add alert. Do you see the alert? When I add the alert, what that will do, that will ding my machine, bing, 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 buy Bitcoin right now. It will send me an email, buy Bitcoin right now. We can even have it send a text to you, hey, bzz, 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 if you're golfing, but and not right now, unless you're in the Florida or California area, you're not golfing in the season. But anyway, that is, and so it's very easy. All of a sudden, you don't have to know anything about trading. You just have to have your account set up. Once it's set up, you have a trading view account set up. Okay, simple to have that account. And then you have access to our trading algorithm. So what's cool about that trading algorithm, if I go here and I click on indicators, this is how I add them. If I go to indicators, come on, open up, whoops, open up. And then I go down to invite only. If you're subscribing to our algorithms, they're going to pop up right here. See how they have locks on them? Because you have to be invited to this. And once you have it, you are ready to go. All you do is click on it and it populates right here. We have trading tutorials and how, step by step to make this very easy for anybody. So again, I have 4 algorithms. If I go back to this, you'll see them. If I go back to here, and you'll see here are the 4. I have the Grok. This Grok is not a strategy. It doesn't give me back testing, but it gives me where the bottoms are and even the tops. If this is a potential bottom, it'll say here it is, only $19 a month for this indicator, or save 2 months and get it for $190 a month. Now our next most powerful is the PFAD. I was showing those to you. It's only $49 a month, or save a month, 2 months off, or $490 for the year. The OHA is $99. This is almost our most powerful algorithm that we have, $99 a month or $990 for a year. What most people do though, most people say, you know what? I just want to pay this, $199 a month for these algorithms, because you don't just get the best algorithm that we have, which I just showed you. You get all of them. You get all the algorithms for this price, okay? So that is what you do. Now, if you go to Grok Trade, okay? So when you go to Grok Trade, you're gonna end up at the home screen, okay? This is gonna populate. When this populates, what you wanna do is go up here to the top, go to algos. When you go up there to algos, this is how you get started. But you're gonna have questions. So you're going to have questions. What you do is you just scroll down to the bottom, scroll down to the bottom, scroll down to the bottom. When you do this, what you're going to do is go to frequently asked questions. These are all the questions we've ever been asked. Not all, but the ones that are, that most people ask. They're all right here. Click on any of these at any time to be able to read anything and everything. And you can unsubscribe at any time. So you can subscribe monthly, get started with that. You can subscribe annually, get started with that. Or I did offer, this is something that a few of you already have taken advantage of, but it's a lifetime. You just pay one time and walk away. Pay one time and walk away. That's there. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. You can do that you can look at that on your own. So there is the long and short of that. So I'm going to go. Thank you guys for joining me here on the premiere, and I hope that we can lock arms. And just know that once you are in and you become this, you're going to get a lot of help. You're going to get access to the spreadsheet, which I didn't share with you. But this, like OMA, remember how I said there's a lot of different settings? This is for a 2-hour chart, a daily chart, 4-hour chart, 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, 45-minute chart, 30-minute. These are settings that we have found already, and here are the net profit gains. Do you see those right there? That's where they are. You can see the max drawdowns right here. You can see, these are great numbers. Remember that profit factor of 1.4 or more? Look at these. Win rates, we like it to be 50% or higher. Look at those. All you have to do is set your settings. So we make it really easy for you. Just start with these settings and then tweak them to see if you can make them any better. But OHA, we have those set for OHA and PFAD. Now ROC doesn't. It's not a strategy. It's an indicator. But the ROC algorithm, I should show it to you. I didn't show it to you, and I'll end with this. But if you go to the Grok ROC and I were to blow this up, what this does is, do you see this buy signal right there? That buy signal, we don't have any data down here. It doesn't give us any back testing because this is called an indicator, not a strategy. And see this buy? That buy was right there. Right there was the buy on Bitcoin. Then we had another buy right here on that low. We had this buy right here in this area, right before the rally. This buy right before the rally. So it also has sell signals. I like the buy signals better than I like the sell, but I added the sell. You can turn those on or off. So that is the Grok ROC. Now, and you can tweak these too. You just go up here and you go up here to it, click on the little gear, and you can take off the sell signals if you want to. You just have the buy signals. But you can go here and tweak these numbers, and you'll get a bit more different stuff. So there it is. So anyway, again, just go to Grok Trade, and when you go to Grok Trade, go to Algos at the top, and you can feel free to join us. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys later. Bye.